Salutations, boys and girls and kiddos of all ages. Welcome to another video of posing action figures with Toy the Poser. I am your host, Toy the Poser, and hopefully we can get through this video without me mumbling and fumbling over words like I just did. Now, in my previous video of unboxing the 40th anniversary Secret Wars Legends, Marvel Legends Titania, she came with an accessory that I wasn't too crazy about, that I said I was going to explain to everybody. I understand why, I know the reason why they packaged it, and even though I don't know why it still had to come in a package with her, I do know the reason why they did it. And it's because back in like the late 80s, Mattel toy company had made the first Secret Wars Marvel Comics action figures, 5 points of articulation, and I think it was also, not too sure if this was the real case, but I personally believe that it was just simply to promote the new Secret Wars comic book that came out. However, as you can see, the toy came with an action figure, a little 4-inch action figure that had that little, what do you call that thing? The little hologram shield that I didn't like that came with the Titania. And of course, yours truly had the Captain America version of that. And that was the only one I ever got. But even though I didn't have the same gripe when I was a kid back in the 80s, I still understood why Captain America would have that little shield gimmick. So basically, I'm just saying I understand the marketing ploy that Hasbro was trying to make here. Whoop. So with all that being said, thank you to all watchers, old and new. And I will now go into giant mode and get behind the camera, and we can continue on with viewing toys in my collection. Whoop. Whoop. All right, and as you can see on the floor, we have the Marvel Legends series, Secret Wars Beyond, Marvel's Beyond. At least that's what they call it. And on the back of the package here, let's take off some of this glare. Okay, you have a brief little bio, okay, of him. The figures that was in that line or in this wave, and don't need none of them. All I wanted was these two, and this is the last one because we already did Titania. He also comes with that foolish accessory. If anybody didn't need this accessory at all or serve no purpose, it would be this guy. And we're gonna know the reason why for people that like to see all these words and barcodes on a package. Here you go. All right. Be nothing on the side, nothing besides that at the bottom. You see all the little things in the accessories inside. And all right, this is where we, put in frame with this camera. I'm a horrible camera operator. Okay, let's magical poof him out of this and see what he's all about. So magical poof. All right, and he was doing a pretty good job of, let me see if he can stand on his own real quick before I cold pose him. Hey, look at that. I reach all the way back here and get these little two hands that he, left and right, open palm hands that he has, and this little ball that I'll explain exactly what it is. At first I didn't know what it was. Then I remembered. I was like, oh, okay, I know what it is now. Um, no more. I've made enough complaints about this little lenticular shield thing. Hey, I said it right this time. All right. And from that image to that image, I don't remember him ever being this image, though, in the comics or anything. I don't actually remember that, him looking like this, but whatever. Do remember him looking like this. But anywho, yeah, I've made enough rants about that thing. So the this is the Beyonder, everybody. Okay, so we're gonna, and then he was, okay, I'll explain all that later. And I hate it when they don't have an ab crunch, because he just has this little stupid diaphragm. Well, it's not even a diaphragm cut. It's just that, I mean, in the comics, it's not like he does a lot of fighting or anything like that. It's not like he's really agile or anything, or he doesn't show those things. Well, would you look at that split? Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay. It's not like he does any of those things. Ooh. Ooh. I almost forced myself to heat up your action figures, guys, when you take them out of the package. It makes it easier to, move them around and pose them and things like that. Of course, that. And yeah, when they get stiff and you try to force it like that, you could break it. So yeah. So I almost got a little too excited and tried to force something, and I almost break it. Yeah. So okay, I will try my best not to make any 80s puns and jokes, except this one. He looks like an 80s rock star, but he was created back in the 80s, so this is probably why he's dressed like a member of Duran Duran. All right. And I don't know how old you kiddos are, but if you don't remember Duran Duran, I'm sorry. Or know who they are, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is some common, 80s looking stuff, duds here. And all right, so let's put him in a cold pose real quick. I'm gonna put the open palm hands on. Like I said, they like come on, B. Yes. All right, I'm gonna do the open hands. Okay, for a reason, as I put him in a cold pose. Okay. Oh. If it's, trust me, you do not want these little pegs to break. It's pretty much no man's land trying to fix them. So, now, why wouldn't they give them a boot cut? A boot swivel so you can twist the leg, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's try to put them in no pegs at the bottom of the feet, nothing in the back here, but I'm gonna try a simple. Oh my goodness, that's stiff. Okay, let's. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. All right. Try to cross his leg. It sucks when you can't really give him a ab crunch. Okay, I don't know. I was looking for something that I probably shouldn't, and that's not a good thing. All right, and now the reason he has this little thing, ball or whatever you want to call it, it's because he's making a planet. Okay, he can create a planet. Oh, he almost held it. Almost got him to hold it like off the first try. And uh-huh. I almost did it. Come here, let me see if I can. This is why characters like this need butterfly joints. You know. Trust me, if you can get a character to clap his hands or put it, that's good stuff. Okay. Let's see if we can put it back. Hey. I think I'm doing something here. All right, come on. Don't ask me why I just don't pause. Oh. Magical poof him into an actual pose or something. But all right, let's try it this way. I almost had it. I just want to see if he can hold it. There we go. All right. He's making his little planet, and I'll tell you what that little planet is in a minute. Okay? Should I just set I'm just not. Should I just set him on the floor and we just do that? No, hold on, we're gonna put him on a rotating rotator and have him rotate. All right, so 1 second. Whoop. All right, there he is on the rotating rotator. With that one of the flight stands that finally is working properly for me. Anyway, so let us bring in the monitor and give you a brief little demonstration of who this guy is. Whoop. Whoop. The Beyonders are a race of beings that live outside the multiverse of the Marvel Universe called the Beyond. Now, the Beyonders would create these little pocket dimensions within their reality called womb spaces, where they incubate their young until they grow into adulthood. And a little something for you history buffs. In 1963, I think it was. Can't remember off the. In the Fantastic Four issue number 20, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, a little lab technician named Owen Reese was doing his daily duties of fixing a machine in a nuclear power plant that he worked at. And one day, while doing his job of maintaining a very powerful machine in a nuclear power plant, of course, something starts to go terribly wrong. And no, they don't say what type of machine it was he was working on, but eventually, in good old fashioned comic book origin story fashion, I said that wrong. Of course, an accident happened and the machine went kaboom. And during that quote unquote accidental explosion, Owen was bombarded with a lot of radiation and other body morphing stuff that eventually got him fired from his job at Acme Atomic Corp. Yeah, that was the name of the place he worked at, and that he used to. He got fired, and being disgruntled and all of that, he came out with superpowers and pretty much turned into the Molecule Man. All right, so not to get in too much into the weeds of who the Molecule Man is, but his story or origin story is very important to this guy's origin story, because during the accident of Owen Reese's transformation, it created a pinhole tear through the fabric of time and reality and into the beyond universe, where a little alien beyonder child was growing up or being incubated or whatever you want to call it. And in his little curiosity, I'm gonna just call him a he for right now. I'll explain later, hope if I remember. He was watching through the little pinhole tear in there and looking into Earth reality, Earth 616 reality, and obviously was becoming really curious, because up until that little pinhole tear into that little pocket universe he was growing up in, he thought, that little alien child thought, he was the only thing that existed in anywhere around him. But watching through the little pinhole, watching Earth 616 for countless numbers of years, the little alien child grow curious of the human feeling known as desire. So he decided to go to Earth and kidnap a handful of superheroes and supervillains and from the planet to participate in a competition in which the winner of either side would be given whatever they desired as the prize. This little competition was called the Secret Wars, created by Mike Zeck and Jim Shooter back in 1984 for any of you comic book history buffs. And so I don't have to name off all the superheroes that was kidnapping for this competition. Here's our villains. Here's a quick picture of the superheroes that was on the first issue of the cover of the issue. And here's a picture of the villains that was kidnapped and participating in the Secret Wars issue. All right, so now with Dr. Doom being the leader of the villain side of the competition, Dr. Doom's lust for power had drove him to go fight the cosmic being Galactus and steal power from him. Don't ask me how. Trust me, Dr. Doom's he is a beast. But anyway, he stole power from Galactus. Well, despite Dr. Doom's tricks and techniques, whatever, the heroes of the first Secret Wars prevailed. What did they ask for? What did they get granted? I don't know. I can't remember, but they're heroes. I'm pretty sure they just asked for the Molecule Man, or not the Molecule Man, but the Beyonder to put things back to normal. And who knows? I don't know what they did or asked for. Oh, speaking of which, this whole series of events was been taking place on a place called Battle World, a planet created by the alien here, the Beyonder. I'm just gonna call him the Beyonder because he really doesn't have a name. That's just a moniker that I guess the Earthlings or people gave him or whatever. It's a whole idea. Let's not get into the weeds of it. But anyway, yes, he created the Battle World. Well, after that first Secret Wars, the little alien Beyonder, it's really hard to okay. He turned himself human, okay? because he was still curious about Earthlings and that, the time on Earth, things like that. So turned himself human to actually physically go to Earth. This is pretty much around the first time that all the heroes and villains saw the voice that said to them that he comes from a place from beyond, which is the reason why they named him the Beyonder. So he went with that. Okay, so yeah, turned himself human, went to Earth, threatened to end all existence on the planet for a reason, which pretty much sparked Secret Wars #2 in 1985 for you his comic book historian buffs. Oh, and sorry guys, after kind of jumped ahead of myself there, but yeah, when Doom actually stole that power from Galactus that he turned the supervillain Klaw, yes, this guy Ulysses Klaw, well, he turned this guy into some type of machine to go steal power from Galactus, to actually steal power from the Beyonder. And he actually did. He succeeded. However, oh, and if you're like me that was wondering how did Doom even see the Beyonder or get close to him, well, apparently after stealing the power from Galactus, he just had to get close enough to the Beyonder to drain his power and kill him or whatever. But he got close enough some way, somehow, and I guess just shooting concussive blasts into the air, Doom eventually, I guess, made contact. I mean, yes, it still boggles my mind on how this even happened. However, that Doom defeating the Beyonder and stealing his power technically ended the first Secret Wars. But before Doom can do his villainous Doom stuff, with the assistance of Ulysses Klaw, the Beyonder was able to take his power back from Doom, and thus that ended the war. Okay. And having experienced all of that, that's when the Beyonder returned back to his own realm, thought about it for a little, realized what he had experienced, turned himself into 80s rock star, and came back and started the second Secret Wars. And skipping over a lot of filler stuff, the Beyonder was, and I guess everybody on the Earth was, visited by a physical form of a cosmic cube by the name of Cubic, and another alien physical form of another cosmic cube called the Shaper of Worlds. Now, the Beyonder at this time, having almost been killed by the Molecule Man, came back in another physical form as this. But before he started, the two other cosmic cubes, because the Beyonder wasn't a cosmic cube yet. Neither. Anyway, the two sentient forms of the cosmic cube, Cubic and the Shaper of Worlds, they basically tell the Beyonder and Owen Reese, the Molecule Man, it was like, hey, since you two can't get along, how about y'all just become one and become a cosmic cube like us? By the way, a cosmic cube is basically a reality warping thing that can grant wishes to anybody that's wielding it. in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, they called it the Tesseract. So there you that. Anyway, that's what a cosmic cube is and does, and it can turn into physical forms like Kerbik and the Shaper of Worlds. So yeah, after convincing the Beyonder to merge with the Molecule Man to turn into a cosmic cube, which they did, which pretty much made the Beyonder's universe cease to exist anymore. And as I said before, cosmic cube itself can become sentient. So Kerbik and the Shaper of Worlds, the other two sentient cosmic cubes, took this cosmic cube that was formed by the Beyonder and the Molecule Man, took it away, and then that new cosmic cube turned into Cosmos. Yes, so, and there you have it. All right, I'm just going to stop it there because, I didn't want to go too far past the Secret Wars arc of when the Beyonder existed and became and actually looked exactly like this, because this is what the action figure looked like, and he took on different forms. So yeah, with that being said, Power Grid, although yeah, I'm still showing Power Grids, however, but as you can see, the Beyonder can pretty much do it all. Okay, why wouldn't he? All right, like reality warping, and in all of his versions, the Beyonder has the general ability to manipulate reality on a virtually infinite scale. He has psionic abilities. He was capable of causing multiversal wide destruction and took over the entire Earth with a mere thought. Teleportation, matter manipulation, energy manipulation, superhuman strength, superhuman stamina, invulnerability, superhuman speed, and the Beyonder is capable of moving at ultimate light speed. So there you have that. Finally, something that explains the speed. Superhuman agility, but why? Why would you need to be extremely agile when you're that powerful? But I guess that comes with the power. Anyway, he can also fly, of course. The Beyonder don't really have any weaknesses. However, as you know, he did and can be stripped of his powers, as shown by Dr. Doom, and he technically was killed by the Molecule Man when he was incubating himself in a form of like a little baby, and the Molecule Man I guess destroyed that machine. So yeah, that's that. Whoop. Well, it's size 'em up time, and because the lighting in the room is switching up, this all white outfit that he has on is kind of affecting the camera. Anyway, so coming in and representing the 1/18th scale is Viacom's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michelangelo, standing in at 4 inches tall, and representing the average 1/12 scale is Stan the Man, my main man Stan. All right, standing at an average 1/12 scale, 6 inches. So last but not least, coming in representing the 1/10 scale is all right, McFarlane Toys Dark Knight Returns Batman, standing at a 7 inches tall, your average 1/10 scale action figure size. So that pretty much makes the Beyonder here stand in at approximately up and give and take that little space at the end. 6 1/4. Okay, so once again, yeah, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, how far the camera in a way was, but anyway, everybody back to your places. Whoop, 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 whoop. And that's it for the day, guys. I guess this is the part where you go back to your own realm, big guy. Whoop. And just like that, we're done for the day. So see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.